And we start news track with dramatic images of the confrontation between lawyers in Bengal and former Union Finance Minister and senior Congress leader P. Chidambaram in Kolkata. This showdown took place in front of the Calcutta High Court. The reason: P. Chidambaram was representing the Bengal government, the Trinamool government, in a case that was filed by senior Congress leader and Congress MP in Lok Sabha, its Bengal unit president Adhir Chowdhury. Mamta Banerjee sued by Adhir Chowdhury, being defended by P. Chidambaram in the Metro Dairy share sale case. The pro-Congress lawyers stopped Chidambaram's car, surrounded him, chanted "Go back" slogans, but that is not all that they chanted. They called Chidambaram an agent of the Trinamool Congress and much more. Listen in.
You go back! You go back! That the party is suffering in West Bengal. It is just because of leaders like you. It's just because of the leaders like you. You are a member of the National Congress. Yes, absolutely. Mr. Chidambaram, we speak on you. You should go back. This is something which has not been done by you. The matter was filed by the VCC President. And this is something which has not been done by you. The matter was filed by the VCC President. Mr. Chidambaram, you go back. You go back. That the party is suffering in West Bengal. It is just because of leaders like you. It's just because of the leaders like you. You are a member of the National Congress. Yes, absolutely. Mr. Chidambaram, we speak on you. You should go back. This is something which has not been done by you. The matter was filed by the VCC President. And this is something which has not been done by you. The matter was filed by the VCC President. Mr. Chidambaram, you go back. You go back. That the party is suffering in West Bengal. It is just because of leaders like you. It's just because of the leaders like you. You are a member of the National Congress. Yes, absolutely. Mr. Chidambaram, we speak on you. You should go back. This is something which has not been done by you. The matter was filed by the VCC President. And this is something which has
Mr. P. Chidambaram, ace lawyer, former Finance Minister of India, former Union Home Minister of India. Here he was defending the Bengal government in the Keventer's Metro Dairy case. And these are lawyers who are saying that because of you the Congress is suffering. This is a case where Adhir Chowdhury, against the senior Congress leader and Member of Parliament, Adhir Chowdhury, the Bengal unit chief, he's accused the Mamta Banerjee government or the Trinamool Congress in Bengal of misappropriation of funds. And lawyers here accuse Mr. Chidambaram of trying to save Mamta Banerjee. I have Sanjay Jha, formerly with the Congress, joining me on the broadcast. He's an analyst. And Sanjay Jha, help us understand. So there is Mr. Chidambaram, the lawyer, and there is Mr. Chidambaram, who's a very senior Congress leader. Are these lawyers making the mistake of not distinguishing between the two, or somewhere down the line, for the sake of the Congress party, should Mr. Chidambaram have drawn a line?
Gaurav, before I answer your question, I need to first tell you, because we haven't spoken for a long time, that you did an outstanding job when you were covering Ukraine. So a brilliant job. I think you were fantastic. Moving on to your question, I do believe that, politicians do wear several hats. And while I understand the compulsions on Mr. Chowdhury to kind of attack the Mamta Banerjee government because the Congress has been wiped off and he has to do something to resurrect the Congress, and that is understandable from his point of view, it will be a little unfair to target Mr. Chidambaram, because he also happens to be an eminent lawyer. And, he has to take briefs that he believes is, consistent with whatever are his professional, standing. And sometimes, you might come in conflict with what your political institution stands for. Although I wish in this case that, because of the fact that one has to recognize that the Congress is at the moment, frankly speaking, non-existent in West Bengal, it is imperative that, there is a conversation between senior leaders. Mr. Chidambaram has been a former finance minister. Adhir Chowdhury happens to be the chief spokesperson of the party in the Lok Sabha.
Yes.
So this doesn't make the Congress look good at all. I think from the perception standpoint, you're absolutely right. This is embarrassing because somebody will say the Congress talks with a forked tongue. And, while you and I may be able to understand that Mr. Chidambaram can also be a lawyer, the fact of the matter is that, in the general perception of the people, they will say the Congress is actually a very confused party in contradiction with itself.
Because someone may say that the right hand does not know what the left is doing, and as that lady lawyer was saying, that here Congress workers are struggling. They're struggling to revive the party, or words to that effect. And here Mr. Chidambaram is saving the Trinamool Congress that Adhir Chowdhury is accused of misappropriation of crores of funds in the Metro Dairy case. So, should the lawyer in Mr. Chidambaram have pulled back for the political leader in Mr. Chidambaram, or are these lawyers wrong in targeting him?
Gaurav, in my personal view, because I also wear a couple of hats, okay, and I do believe that, as long as you believe that you're principally not doing anything that will damage the party's prospects, I think you have your professional independence and your fundamental right to do what you want to do. Mr. Chidambaram is not canvassing for the TMC. He's not campaigning for any party. He's taking a stance on an issue where he believes he has a compelling argument, which as a lawyer he would like to win. On the other hand, don't forget that our colleague Abhishek Manu Singhvi is a Rajya Sabha member and he's from Bengal. So, there are these, and this is also the case with the BJP. Some of the lawyers from the BJP have contested for corporates that necessarily the party hasn't been in favor of in the past. So I think these are little grey areas, but I do hope that the West Bengal Congress focuses, instead of focusing on Mr. Chidambaram and trying to attack him because that will get you a lot of media coverage, I think they should go back to the grassroots and build the Congress back from bottom up.